The Colorado Avalanche world is still buzzing from the back-to-back shutouts from Scott Wedgewood and Mackenzie Blackwood, and that has carried over into conversation of could either or both of them make the Olympic roster for Team Canada. So let's talk about that and a new episode of Locked On Avalanche coming at you.
You're Locked On Avalanche, your daily podcast on the Colorado Avalanche. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Locked On Avalanche, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chris Micieli. Joining me as always, Mr. Zach Pearson. Thank you for tuning in, making this your first listen of the day, and for making the Locked On Podcast Network the best sports podcast network, the number one podcast network in the country. Always appreciated for that. If you want to join our subtext and chat with us one-on-one, we get your opinion, everything Avalanche related, and share it on this very podcast, do that. The link is in the show notes down below. And all of the topics we're covering today, with the exception of the power rankings, we'll get to the power rankings later on and how we're doing this because we all know where the Avalanche stand. We're also looking at the opponents for the Avalanche for this week. And Zach has thrown them into the math bubble that he is so apt at, which is the old noggin.
It's right up here. It's all up here.
And then we see where those teams are, what the overall rank or the average rank. It's kind of a fun thing that we've been doing. So we'll do that a little bit later. But we have questions that our people from Subtext have thrown out that we'll take up today and probably tomorrow because they threw some Thanksgiving ones in there, which tis the season. So we'll get to that tomorrow. That'll be fun. For where we're going to start today, sir, like I said in the opening, the back-to-back shutouts by the Lumberyard was just while the games themselves, especially that Nashville game, was not the best game for the Avalanche. You won it in a shutout, and while the game for the Blackhawks, save for that first period, was a much better game, pretty entertaining game, you got a shutout in that one as well. So now that's naturally, hey, where are we going with this? Well, let's go to the Olympics. You know, they haven't announced the team. They announced those six, the first six. Okay. I don't know why they did that, but sure. Could it happen? I think for Mackenzie Blackwood, I think things were trending in the right direction for him to potentially make the Canadian roster if he got off to a hot start, like a Scott Wedgewood start, dare I say.
Yeah.
And then I think Scott Wedgewood has entered the chat because of how he has played so far this season, which is well documented. But what do you think? Could either or both of them is a long stretch. I don't think out of the three goalies you have on Team Canada, two of them are going to be from the Avalanche. What do you think?
Both Avalanche goaltenders are on Team Canada come Olympics, then we are having Vezina discussions and we are a plus 100 in Vegas odds to win the Stanley Cup because they would have to play such good hockey. And this is not a knock against them. I'm not saying they're not capable of something like that at all, but I'm talking like repeated shutouts, 40 saves a night, just like things that could literally not be ignored by the committee selecting these players. Mm-hmm. I do think they have a legitimate chance for one of them to maybe get their way onto the roster. It could very well happen, especially with how good they've been playing. Best tandem in the league right now. I mean, it's getting attention from basically every media outlet there is, and for good reason. The Avalanche are a wagon, and the goaltending is a huge part of that.
Yeah,
shutouts help.
And I want to give Zach R credit for asking the question. He's the one that threw it out to us about if either or both of them, is there a track for them? I think that's, for the going into the Four Nations, that was the big, what was it? What were the goalies going to be for that? Obviously you got Jordan Binnington was your goalie, and he played every game in the Four Nations. Was it?
I don't like him, but give him credit.
He played very well, well. Montembeault, Sam Montembeault was the other one, and Aiden Hill was your other goalie. I think that's still open. I as poorly from the last metrics I've seen, I think over on Money Puck, Binnington is one of the worst goalies in the league this year, stat wise. I don't think that hurts him for the Olympics.
I don't think it does either.
Yeah. I think they will look at his track record, his history, his career, what he did at Four Nations. All of that plays a part. So I don't think Binnington is going anywhere. I would even say he's probably, no matter who the other two goalies are, Binnington is probably going to be your starter. God, that pains me to say that.
I don't.
The reality of the situation. I think they're going to go with as much of the sure bet and the most seasoned vet, and he's been in situations like that before. Obviously, the Four Nations. Well, that was not the Olympics, but still what turned out to be a huge event, right?
Yeah.
I don't. So saying that about Binnington and how he's playing this year is not going to affect him. I think the same thing is true actually the opposite is true for Scott Wedgewood. I don't think they're just going to take this smaller sample size of him being the number one guy because of injury and playing so well. I don't think that bumps him up as much as people think or want it to. I don't.
It would take an implosion from the guys they probably have in mind, including Binnington. And even though his numbers are not great, I just sorted it. He's fourth worst in goals saved above expected. Out of 76, he's 72.
He hasn't been good this year.
It's not great.
Not all his fault, but has not been good.
No, the Blues are not a great team this year, and so that doesn't help. But I mean, it would have to be an implosion of insane proportions for him to not be the starter, and even well beyond. It would have to be an injury for him to not make the team. That's the only way Binnington doesn't play, or at least take up one of the roster spots for Team Canada. I do think Mackenzie Blackwood, like you said, has a much better path, a much easier path, rather, clearer path, however you want to phrase that, to make it onto the roster, just because of kind of the name behind him. Wedgewood hasn't had that much in his career.
Right.
But quite frankly, if Wedgewood starts throwing shutouts and starts playing the way he's been playing and keeps that up, all it really takes is an injury or two, and his name's going to at least be floated. So
yeah, I think a lot of people were expecting Logan Thompson to be a part of the Four Nations, and he was not. I think the way that Montembeault really hasn't done much this year, so I don't think he's going to be back. So I think it's going to be Binnington, Thompson, and then who's your third guy? I think you could throw Mackenzie Blackwood in there. Here's the other thing. I don't want both of them going to the Olympics. I don't want both of your goalies go. And granted, they probably
won't both play. And
I don't. It's been so long since NHL players have been in the Olympics. And you saw how Binnington played every minute of the Four Nations. I know this is different. I don't know if it's like playoff hockey where he's our guy. That's where we ride the entire time.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I wouldn't want both of them there and both getting time. I just wouldn't want that. No.
It'd be nice to have one of them rest, at least, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It would also be cool to just throw another Avalanche player on the roster. And we've harped on this so much, but I need to take one more moment to appreciate the fact that we are sitting here talking about our goaltenders pushing for an Olympic roster spot when 1 year ago we're wallowing in goaltender self-pity.
Amazing.
It's so good.
Is that not amazing?
It is so good.
How far we have come. It's incredible. It really is incredible. What do you think? I'm interested to hear, because I think this is a good conversation. I think it is open. I think it's an open, for somebody to come in and be a part of the trifecta really of goalies for Team Canada. It's probably gonna be Binnington. Who are the other ones? I think Thompson, and throw out your third. But I'm curious to know if people think the way that Wedgewood has played earns him just this season earns him a spot over someone like Mackenzie Blackwood, who it's all about what could become of Mackenzie Blackwood. And does that want him a spot? I don't know.
And
So.
Blackwood definitely has a little too small of a sample size right now to make that decision, but he's played pretty well. And then getting that shutout was a pretty big deal. So I think he certainly could make a case. Yep. It's going to be interesting to see how the next month and a half really play out and who ends up getting the nod for that third spot. Because I agree, as we just said, Binnington's going to make it, but he is.
Yep.
And Logan Thompson probably as well. I agree. I think he's probably got a spot. The last one I saw projected wise, ESPN had Aiden Hill as the other goaltender for Canada. And
he was
possible,
there for 4 Nations.
But I could very much see a Blackwood taking that spot over Aiden Hill.
Yeah.
Keeps playing the way he's been playing. It's very, very possible.
We'll see. I don't know when they make the announcements, but better be soon. Because Olympics are 2.5 months away. So
that's one. Like, I don't know when it's decided yet, but that's why I only gave them a month and a half. Like, you get basically to the end of the year. I would assume by New Year's they have to make that call, right?
You know what? I bet they do something at like the Winter Classic where that
would make sense.
Make some big announcement. I feel like they've done that before at the Winter Classic. So that's probably right around when we'll see it. So
that would make sense.
All right, let's get a break in, and when we come back, we'll discuss 2 other questions. One from our good friend Madam Battleaxe, and something about the specialty nights that the Avalanche had this year. Which one do we want to attend for that? And then Vargar asked a good one about who's the one player that got away, not necessarily like from free agency or trade, but in the draft. Who's the player that was right there for the picking and either the Avs passed on or was picked right before they did? And I got a few for that. So let's get a break in and we will talk about that on the other side. We're going to hear from FanDuel, and the NBA is back. And there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And even if you missed the start of a game or want to ride a hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps everything exciting, especially when your team is making that late push. I know the Nuggets were playing as we're recording, but there wasn't much time left. So
it is over as of this exact moment.
Okay.
And they did beat the Memphis Grizzlies by 10 points, 115 to 125 for Denver. So,
but that did not cover the spread. It
was a 10.5 point spread because Vegas is really good at that. But
they know what they're doing. So
I always say pick to win. I don't mess with spreads.
Yeah, it's straight up. So, but if you want to get in on some action in the Denver Nuggets and you want to get $300 in bonus bets, if you're new customers, bet $5. If that wins, $300 in bonus bets in your account. So head to FanDuel.com and sign up to play your game with FanDuel. It's official sports betting partner of the NBA. Also brought to you by Doer and Doer pants, jeans, and clothing. We own them. Cannot talk enough good things about Doer. Why? Because they are 5 times the stretch of traditional denim. They're antibacterial, meaning your jeans stay fresh longer so you can wear more and wash less. And they're made with Cool Max that regulates your body temperature and wicks moisture so it keeps you cool and comfortable as temperatures change. And isn't that happening this time of year? Absolutely. Simply put, Doer makes the world's most comfortable pants without having to sacrifice on style. Believe me, once you try them, they will be your go-to pant day in and day out. Check them out in store right in Denver at 2621. Where is it, sir?
Larimer Street.
There it is. Pick up a pair for yourself or as an amazing holiday gift. Mention the promo code LOCKEDONDenver in store to get 15% off of your first order. Or you can even check them out online at shopdoer.com/LockedOnDenver. And you can get that 15% off there as well. Shopdoer.com/LockedOnDenver. Check them out today. You'll be wearing them every day. All right, get this to this question by Vargar. I like it. Says, who was your Avs draft day white buffalo? As he hot tub time machines it. The player you loved and hoped the Avs would select, someone who fell to them, who the Avs passed over, or were taken the pick before. And he says, any drafts from since the Avs have been in existence. I have one that sticks out there. I don't know if you want me to go first here.
Please do go ahead.
There's one that, yes, I wanted this guy. And then another one is a hindsight one where, after the fact, it looked back, oh, it would have been nice to have him. And he was taken a couple picks before. Start with the one that I had eyes on this player, was hoping he would fall, and he was falling. I think he was expected to go a little bit earlier than he went. And this was in the 2016 draft.
Okay.
The Colorado Avalanche select. No. I'm lying here. Was it the 16 draft? No. Where it goes back. No, I think that was the 16 draft. Hang on a second. I gotta bring it up here. Hold on. Okay, I found it. Sorry, it was not the 16 draft. It was the 19 draft. And so 2019, Avs had the number 4 pick, went with Bo Byram. Fine. Didn't have a problem with that. At number 16, they took Alex Newhook. The pick before that was Cole Caufield. And that's who I was hoping would fall to them. And he fell. If I remember correctly, he was, I don't want to say expected. You never really know, but he was considered like a top 10 guy. And it was his size that I think made him slip a little bit. Yeah. And he was falling. And I was hoping that and I don't know the interest the Avalanche had in him. But he was one that I was just hoping would fall there. And the Canadiens scooped him up the pick before. And the Avs went with Alex Newhook. And now the two of those guys are playing together in Montreal after.
They sure are.
So that's the one where I was hoping that they would fall. I'll let you go talk about yours, and I'll get to the other one, hindsight one. Go ahead.
So I definitely remember my first year being an Avs fan back in 1996. I was 5 and really just kidding. No, my first year that I was really into drafts was right after my freshman year of college. And so I remember watching the NFL draft that year. NHL draft comes up and I'm like, oh, I'm actually going to look into this a little bit. And so I remember in 2010, the Avs with the number 1 pick took Joey Hishin. And I was very convinced that by trying to read stuff online, anything I could find, which there wasn't a ton of great draft coverage in 2010. Shocking, I know.
Yeah.
But I remember leading up into it thinking, you know who I would actually like to see make it to the Avs, because they're not going to take Taylor Hall with the number 1 overall pick.
Sure. Yeah.
Because that's who everybody knew was going to go number 1 that year.
Right.
Vladimir Tarasenko, who the Blues took 1 pick ahead of Joey Hishin.
Really?
And I remember I felt like I was doing everything I could to delude myself, like Mikey in the Goonies, and just convinced that Joey Hishin was going to be a great pick, and that was a good way to go. It didn't work out so well, but
no, not at all. Not at all. It's tough. It's tough to know who's. It's a draft. It's really a crapshoot. Outside of the top 10 anymore, you really don't know. And that's why the one that everybody points to is the Pastrnak one. Everybody points to that, but 20 something other teams passed on him too. So you can't be too upset with the Avalanche. I don't have that in front of me, but I think it was taken 2 picks after the Avalanche pick, two or 3 picks after
2
the
or
Avs
3.
Pick. Yeah.
Because that was, what year was that? That was Oh goodness, I don't even remember what year.
No, I don't know off the top of my head either, but it was a handful of seasons ago. But
Yeah.
I brought up initially 2016 because that's the one where looking back,
You don't.
I
take
would have.
Jost.
I would. Well, no. I mean, Jost was, he had moments. Obviously, long term didn't pan out as a number 10 overall pick should. What do you expect? The expectations for
When you
number
said
10
with
pick?
hindsight, that's why I thought you were going with Jost. Is because in hindsight that pick looks not because he had the number 10 expectation put on him,
right,
and he didn't live up to that.
But the guy, and if you're an everydayer of this podcast, the guy who I really like that's not an Av is Clayton Keller. And he went 3 picks before. So, yeah, I mean, that's a lot to ask for him to drop 3 picks, but that would have been nice. Would have been nice. Sergachev was taken right before Jost by Montreal yet again. But hey, the way, I mean, I don't know if that's a trend or not, just those 2 guys, but the Avs picking before the Florida Panthers is a very real thing that Panther fans do not appreciate. We took Mikko right before the Panthers. We took Landeskog right before the Panthers, but they ended up with a pretty good player in that draft too. And there was one other one. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's another one right before the Panthers. We took another guy. I can't remember who it was. So yeah, they're not happy with us. But also in that draft, 4 picks after Colorado, Charlie McAvoy went to Boston.
Yep.
Jacob Chychrun went to Arizona, and I'm a Chychrun fan. So you can do this all day long. The coulda, woulda, shouldas, but those are just definitely Caufield for me. And the hindsight one of like, oh, it would have been nice if he fell 3 more spots, would have been Clayton Keller. And that is not to say, again, I don't know with, going that far back, if the Avs have any interest in him, who knows?
Yeah.
But would have been nice.
Well, like I said, when I was looking for my pick, I just remember literally I was doing everything I could to just be like, because leading up to it, I'd never really been into drafts, so I found whatever coverage I could, and I was like, this Tarasenko guy looks good. Let's go with him. That's who I want the Avs to take. And then we got Hishin because Tarasenko goes, and I just remember deluding myself nonstop. Like, this is going to be great. This is awesome. The Avs are in such good position.
I'm trying to find. I'm not going to do it now. It's going to take too much time. But those Panther drafts, but they're pretty funny. It's pretty funny who the Avs took before them.
Look that up. That's fun.
It's interesting. So I wanted to get this one from Madam Battleaxe too, about if we had a ticket to a specialty night, one ticket for a hockey specialty night, which one would it be for the Avs this year? And we kind of talked about these at the beginning of the year when they were announced. Mm-hmm. But let's see. I mean, they've already had a few of them with, let's see. You had Oktoberfest, you had girls hockey night, be a good person night, which I really wish was just every night. Military appreciation. You just had Fourth Wing night, hockey. That's the cancer night.
That's mine right there. Fourth Wing
night.
That's my choice.
I remember needing to ask my wife what the heck
did the same thing. Yeah.
Wing night was, because I had no idea. So I would give that one away. Let somebody who actually knows what the heck that is go to.
Oh yeah. 100%.
And a lot of people do, because apparently it's very popular. But you have Hockey Fights Kansas Night, Grateful Dead night.
Always
I know
fun.
Mr. Shaggy Von Doom would absolutely love that. And did you see those jerseys?
They look sharp. I am tempted to go just for the jersey.
Come on
now. The hockey, but
in the hockey game, yeah. You have 30th anniversary celebration nights. You have a couple of those throughout the night. Educator Appreciation Night, Pride Night, Black Excellence Night, Pickleball Night, where you can, if you're a pickleball fan, you can get they're handing out paddles, I guess, pickleball paddles.
Sweet.
Cool. Colorado Hockey Night is always fun. First Responders Night. Star Wars Night.
Yeah.
Oh, AANHPI Night.
Yep.
And I'm not too familiar with that. Sorry, but
Asian American North Pacific Islanders.
The acronym I don't. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. You got another one?
That
And
one,
then
I think
Star Wars.
I've got to go to something. I think it was a Mammoth game though. But either way, that was a cool night for sure.
Where's the one
Colorado
I'm missing with
Mammoth.
the kids? Oh, Next Generation. I missed Next Generation night.
Yeah, that's coming
January
up
10th.
in January.
That's
Yep.
fun.
That
That
is.
seems fun, but how fun would it be in the arena? Because I think it's really fun watching at home.
I like it in the arena. I've got
Yeah.
to go to a couple of them because I really like the kid announcers that they get to sit out there and scream at the top of their lung, "Here come your Avalanche!" and like they're in the microphone
It's
and
like
they're
ear
into it. And those are
piercing, like,
great. Oh, it's
yeah.
so fun.
But it's fun watching the play-by-play and having like a kid in that booth as well. So
Yeah, that's
but
true.
it's cool. I love like the drawings that the kids do of the players.
Those are
That's
always fun.
fun. But if you had to pick one for the remainder of the season, which one are you going to?
So my gut initially was do one of the 30th anniversary nights with one of the Stanley Cup teams because obviously that would be fun. But you know what I'd actually want to do because I've never had the chance? The New Year's Eve. I want to do the New Year's Eve game. I think that would be an absolute blast.
Yeah. And don't they have a pretty good record on New Year's Eve?
I think so.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Who's that again? That's against St. Louis.
Yeah, so
that'd be great. We talk about Binnington.
Could you chase Binnington out of the net on New Year's Eve? It'd just make me so happy. It'd be such a good way to close out this year.
That would be a fun one to attend. Everybody's in a good mood. It's going to be, it's a new year right around the corner. But do you run the risk of, hey, if the Avs lose that game, then you're miserable. Like you don't even want.
Nah, they still do fireworks.
I know they do, but I'm just like
everything's
okay,
still
whatever
for me.
Fireworks, boring.
And actually,
Get me out of
I
here.
think that's why I would want to do that one because even if they lose, I'm still like, you know what? We're downtown Denver. We're doing a fireworks celebration. There's probably some kind of champagne. It's probably still a fun night, regardless of the outcome. I imagine the in-arena Avalanche folks take care of you. So I think
pull you out of the doldrums of a loss.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. For me, it's easy. It's Star Wars night.
Good choice.
Absolutely love it. And they haven't had it for a few years. I don't know. I remember the last time they had it, but it's been a little while. So, and that's late in the season. That's one of the last games. It's April 9th. Is Star Wars night. So, and I'm not like the cosplay dress up type of thing. Like I don't like subscribe to that. But I get a lot of enjoyment out of the people that do. I love like seeing like what other people are wearing, how far they go,
head to toe Jedi robes. That's what I do. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, love it. So, although I do own a lightsaber, I do have it's right over there.
Mine would
the
have
batteries
to be
don't work.
at the door.
yeah,
because it's real.
Yeah, no. Imagine that, like going to battle with a lightsaber and the batteries ran out. Like, can you hold on? I just got to change the double A's here.
Nobody really talks about that. What is? I know it's the crystal supposedly with the lore, but yeah. What if the battery runs out?
Are there double A's in
Those are big old T cells,
far
let's
away?
Be honest.
Yeah, that's funny. So, all right, yeah. But I guess the answer is all of them.
Yeah,
go to
they
all
all
of them.
Are pretty fun.
Go to all of them.
Yep.
And so what we're going to do for if you're going to all the games, these next 3 ones, we're going to power rank the opponents and of course where the Avalanche sit and the overall average of their opponents for this week. So let's get our last break in and Zach's going to break that down for us. We'll do that next. Game time. Hockey season is officially here and nothing beats being in the arena for those opening games. But let's be real, getting tickets can be a total headache between waiting in queue, surprise fees, and prices that jump right before checkout. It's easy to get frustrated when all you want to do is cheer on your team. So that's where Game Time comes in, the app that gives fans the advantage. It's your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NHL tickets fast, easy, and stress-free. So take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKDOWNNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. That code again is LOCKDOWNNHL, LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, and go with Game Time. All right, so as we've been doing, beginning of the week, checking in on the power rankings. This was originally going to be, just where the Avalanche are ranked throughout media outlets, but I think we all know where they are. That's not to be braggadocious or anything, but it's just the reality of the situation. So it's kind of morphed into who the Avalanche are playing and where those teams rank.
Yep.
So it's kind of like an outlook of the week ahead for the Avalanche opponents. So
we'll run through these relatively quick. You might be surprised to know that the Avalanche are number one across all the outlets we look at. In fact, if you didn't rank the Avalanche as number one, I would take you off of my respectable sources of hockey and not follow you anymore.
Very true. Very true.
So I'm just going to go down the order that I had them. 3 games coming up: San Jose, Minnesota, Montreal.
Yep.
We'll start with the hockey guy. 24 for San Jose, 19 for Minnesota, and 12 for Montreal. So
a
little
bit for Montreal. I feel like Montreal is they were a darling early in the year.
They were
or still early in the year, but they were, and I feel like the
first couple of weeks were really good.
Yeah, I mean, they're still a good team. They're still an exciting team. And he's got, you said Minnesota at 19.
19, yep.
And next to the Avalanche, they have the longest winning streak in the league right now.
They do.
4 or 5 games.
And so that's actually only one outlet has Minnesota higher than 19. And I think I'm going to do that one last.
Okay.
We'll be a little surprised how much higher.
Okay.
So we'll hit ESPN next. Again, Avs 1. They've got San Jose 2 spots lower at 26. They've got Minnesota in the same spot as the hockey guy at 19. And they've got Montreal 3 points lower at 15.
Wow.
So again, a little bit of a drop for Montreal because I remember ESPN had them higher as well to start the year. So some moves there. The Athletic, Avs 1, San Jose 23. So highest spot so far for them. 20 for Minnesota. So even a spot lower than the first 2. And Montreal down to 22.
Wow.
The Athletic is not high.
They're not playing around.
Minnesota. Yep.
Wow.
Which I am surprised because, again, I think Minnesota's been playing pretty well. I don't have...
Yeah, no, they have been. But, you know, it always matches up to when you're doing these power rankings.
Montreal.
When they're
22 Montreal. Yeah.
Yeah. When they're coming, you know, when they come out with the power rankings compared to how they play, like, because like I said, like Minnesota's been playing well, but when did that power ranking come out?
Yeah. And 20 for them just feels low. And I'll just double check. This one for the Athletic, let me scroll back up to the top here, is published the 21st. So 3 days ago as of recording this. So they're still in the midst of a pretty long win streak. And to have them all the way down at 20 was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
But that's where they've got them.
Okay.
NHL, of course, doing their Super 16. So
hate it.
The Avs are number 1. San Jose did receive some votes, and they are number 23 if we extrapolate the number of votes.
Okay.
Minnesota is 19 if we, again, extrapolate vote counts. So 1 spot back up.
Okay.
Montreal got into the Sweet 16, Super 16, and are number 8.
So we have like, wow. So we got Montreal as high as 8 and as low as
22 for Montreal.
Wow.
Yep. Crazy.
And what was Montreal? Because you said Montreal was 22 on the Athletic.
Yep.
And they tell you what they were last week for their writers. What were they last week?
12.
Man, they must
so
have
a 10-point drop for Montreal. Yep.
That bad of a week?
And Minnesota had jumped up 6 spots because they were 26 last week on the Athletic.
Okay.
So, yeah, just crazy jumps.
All right.
And then the last one.
Yep.
The last one is the hockey writers. And again, Avalanche number 1.
Yep.
They have San Jose at their highest spot at 17. So giving them some credit, pushing them up. I'm going to skip ahead to Montreal because they've got them at 20. So a big jump back down for Montreal with the hockey writers. And then I'll bring up Minnesota because this one surprised me. The previous 4 rankings are 19, 19, 20, and 19. And then the hockey writers put them at 5.
Oh, stop.
And I'm not joking. They are number 5 on the hockey writers website.
This is why I have a love-hate relationship with power rankings.
I love it.
Like,
Hockey Writers last week had him at 23, and they jumped all the way up to 5. And
no
I get
team can jump that much in one.
18
No
spots.
team.
I
No
get
team.
they're on a hot streak, but dang, that is a crazy jump. And that's why I had to put them absolutely last, because an 18-point jump for them and 14 spots higher than the next highest ranking is a crazy jump.
If you're like restarting your rankings every week, like every week is a fresh week and you're not basing it on anything the week before,
maybe
okay. But you can't do that. You have to take in like to all total of like what's going on in your season.
Right.
Sure. Right now they're playing very good. Is that enough to bump them up to number 5? Good Lord.
For the Hockey Writers, that's a yes.
Yeah,
so
so
the Avs opponents' average spots, 23 for San Jose, 16 for Minnesota because of that 5. Bumps them up 3 spots above their lowest.
Wow. Yeah.
And then Montreal at 15.
Wow. So another kind of like mid-level to lower level opponents for the Avs. I had to go and check out Montreal's most recent games. Yeah, they're on a rough stretch right now. They did win their most recent game against Toronto, who's,
Toronto's going to be battling for the best odds for the number 1 pick instead of battling for a playoff spot if they keep this up.
But prior to that, 3, 4, 5, 6, lost 7 of 8.
Oof.
Had some shootout losses, two shootout losses and overtime loss, so you got some points there, but on the losing end of 7 out of 8. So yeah, they've hit a rough patch. So, and I also went ahead and because I was just bugging me, the Avalanche and Florida Panthers drafts.
Yeah.
The 2011 draft, the Avalanche picked Gabe Landeskog, Florida picked Jonathan Huberdeau. The very next pick.
Yep.
The 2013 draft, Nathan McKinnon, number 1. Barkov was number 2. And the 2015 draft was Mikko Rantanen at 10. And Florida had Lawson Krause.
The Krause one hurts.
At 11. Yeah.
If you're Florida.
Yes.
At least like Barkov's not feels like a solid guy to pick up after Nathan McKinnon. Is Barkov. Oh, you froze here. So I don't know where the recording is, but I feel like Barkov is probably a decent pickup after Nathan McKinnon. You're not going to feel horrible about having that. But the Mikko one, yeah, that stings. I'm sorry, Florida. I mean, it stings for us too. He plays for our division rival who keeps kicking us out of the playoffs.
But hey, we're not crying. So
nope.
We're happy.
No, I'm pretty happy with this team at the moment.
Yep. So, all right. That's a very informative episode we got in there for everybody. So, yeah, but I think with the power ranking stuff, I think that's 2 weeks in a row now where the opponents are mid to lower level. So winnable games, 6 points up on the board, and let's see how many you can get. So it's another back-to-back too, but it's a way home back-to-back, I believe it is. So
yeah,
we'll see. All right. That's going to wrap it up for today, everybody. So thank you for tuning in, making this your first listen of the day. That's always appreciated. We'll be back tomorrow with more questions that we had from Subtext people, including, like I said, some good Thanksgiving ones. So we'll do that tomorrow. Make sure you tune in to that. But for this one, thank you for tuning in, making your first listen of the day. That's always appreciated. He's Mr. Zach Pearson. I am Chris Micieli. This is the Locked On Avalanche podcast, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, of course, where you will have made it through another 24 hours, where Sidney Crosby's that much closer to being with the Colorado Avalanche.
The number 1 power ranked Colorado Avalanche.
Oh.